guys. So yeah, welcome to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It says the Christmas period, and around this time, um, they call it the Christmas curve. Sometimes Premier League winners are seen around this time in English Premier League, and it is very very dicey how teams play their games, how tactically teams shape up, especially in the English Premier League, is a big deal. I've just seen a couple of stuff with Arsenal and how they play in recent times, and at the beginning of the season, I predicted that Arsenal are going to win the English Premier League this season for a couple of reasons. I think I like the work of Mikel Arteta and what he put into his squad. I like the squad depth of Arsenal. I just think that they are just one proper CM away from being a complete squad. I think that Declan is beautiful. Partey is a solid player, albeit Partey has issues with injuries and staying fit and whatnot. But quite apart from one CM away from doing all the stuff that that Arsenal can do, and it's a little bit, not too worrying. They just have to get that part of their team or squad building done, and that's not just exactly where you want them to be. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for choosing me. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm grateful to have you on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you've not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel. If not, turn on notification. I think you should turn on notification. Arsenal have a big game tomorrow against Luton Town. Apart from that Arsenal game, there are a couple of games also that will be looking through the games through to Wednesday, and then Tuesday there is a Copa del Rey game in the Spanish La Liga thereabout. There is also a Copa Italia game. These are big games, but really, I love Mikel Arteta's work, and I think that this season they're going to win the English Premier League. But essentially, it's about their control and then their tactical hold up in games. It's been brilliant in everything that they do, and that's exactly why we are here. Yes, so if you're not subscribed to the channel, I think you should subscribe to the channel now. You should turn on your notifications. So yeah, as you can see, we are on the tactical board, and it's just two things. So by this time last season, and I've said it a couple of times already, Arsenal were second in the English Premier League, but they had the highest XG. They created some of the very good chances. They failed to control them. They were also conceding a lot of the goals in the English Premier League. If you look at somebody like Xhaka and the job that he has done in the last 10 years, it is only him and Salah that have either scored or assisted in all of those games. Of course, himself, Salah, and then Erling Braut Haaland are the three attackers whose goals have amassed about 11 points and more for their various teams. So he's an integral part of everything that Arsenal wants to do. Even as a young player, he's a leader. Given the fact he has played in the last Euros for England, had some issues with that penalty miss in there. He has also grown into the Arsenal team in there. So he's a very, very integral player for Mikel Arteta and his team. Now, Arsenal have gone 5 games unbeaten. They've won all of those games that they played in the last 5 games. I think that for us now, the biggest conversation that they've had is David Raya. And I'm going to take it position after position, and I'll explain everything. David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale. So I backed the presence of David Raya coming into the Arsenal team for 2 reasons. First of all, it is one, in the modern day, a goalkeeper isn't just a shot stopper. So again, I want you to listen to me and listen to me clearly. In a modern game, a goalkeeper isn't just a shot stopper. A goalkeeper is more than a shot stopper. A goalkeeper needs to do more than just the shot stopping job. Again, in the modern game, you need goalkeepers that will give you a lot more. Why do I say this? Now, you want to control the game to an extent that you want to prevent high quality chances from being created against you. So you want to be playing in a game so much such that you don't subject your goalkeepers to coming against a lot of shots. And why do you do this? Goalkeepers, no matter how good of shot stoppers they are, if the volume of shots are high and their quality, there's a likelihood that they are going to concede some good goals, right? So generally, you want to try and reduce the volume and also reduce the quality of chances that are creating for you. Now, whilst Aaron Ramsdale has that strength in terms of his aerial ability and a few other things that makes him a very good shot stopper, I think that the larger scale is what Aaron Ramsdale gives to the team in terms of being an exceptional controller from the back, from playing out from the back, and his deliveries. I think he's immaculate. He's as immaculate as Andre Onana in terms of deliveries on the back, short, long passes, and he's also a very good shot stopper. Again, it takes me back to the Andre Onana conversation where I remember I told a lot of Manchester United fans that, Andre Onana is a celestial player. And a lot of people will come back to me and say, how do you say Andre Onana is a top player or is a top goalkeeper? But he makes mistakes and concede a lot of the goals. Yes, because Andre Onana essentially is a wonderful ball playing goalkeeper. He's not a bad shot stopper, but he's not a David De Gea in terms of shot stopping. De Gea is excellent. He's better in terms of shot stopping. And it's in the same rise that David Raya is. You want to have a goalkeeper like that to control build up so that he doesn't end up hoofing the ball upfield and then the opposing team will pick it up and then come and create chances against you. You want to avoid all of these things. It is very, very imperative in the modern game, right? Now you go to our stand center backs. Now, Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba are one of the two of the best pair in the league, if not the best. Now you talk about the quality of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. Saliba's ability to read a game and also be very, very good. I think Saliba is a unicorn in terms of vertical passes, playing forward and whatnot. He's essentially one of the best that you can ever get in the English Premier League as it stands now, and he is brilliant. In a game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, I saw something that I didn't have, I had not seen last season. So Arsenal essentially last season will have a rest defense of three, and then you have an inverted fullback in there. Usually was Alexander Zinchenko from this side of the game. He comes inverted in here, then forms a double pivot with a DM. Yeah, last season it was Saka. Then Saka moves into the more advanced attacking number 18. Odegaard now plays as a number 10 flat in the last line. See, the shape now becomes a 3-2-5 in there for Arsenal, and they tend to be creating a lot of chances. They tend to open up a lot of deep-seated teams. They tend to have a lot of openings in, and they play some very, very good football like that, right? Now, this was a little bit successful. They had issues with turnovers sometimes, especially when you have Alexander Zinchenko, who is not really the best. So teams will target the wide areas where he lives, overload it. So when the rest defense is just one man, the person is dealing with 1v1s, it's a little bit easier. But when the person is overloaded, then it is much more difficult. Now, I've seen something this season where Arsenal don't go into the 3-2-5 shape like how they used to go to. Essentially ends up in the 3-2-5. But it's the mode in which they get into the 3-2-5 that is much more imperative, and that's why I want to talk about it. First of all, what they do is that the two fullbacks will keep not too high around the midfield line, but a little bit narrow inside, not very wide as well. Now, what really happens is that because of Thomas Partey's injury, and because Arteta really isn't comfortable playing Jorginho next to Declan Rice, Declan is brilliant. He eats up space. He's a good carrier of the ball. He wins the ball for a short, long passes. He's brilliant. I mean, I don't need to wax the lyrical of Declan Rice. He's a top player. Now, in the middle of the park, once he has Declan Rice in here, one of the things that Arteta have done this season is to drop Martin Odegaard from the second line into this line to play more like in a double six with Declan Rice in this zone. Now, so they receive the ball from Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba into their path in here. Then they have the two fullbacks, Alexander Zinchenko and of course Tomiyasu in the last game. They are very, very close. They are close to them like that. They receive the ball. Now, what this happens is that Arsenal are able to keep the width with Gabriel Martinelli and then Xhaka in this area. Then they have Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah in there in these zones. And it's very good. It gives them a lot of dynamism up front. They're able to create very good quality chances. Also, they deal with a threat that comes from out wide that they weren't able to deal with last season. Anytime that Alexander Zinchenko did push forward, and it helps the team in terms of growth, in terms of wherever they want to be as a team. And then also the spaces in between them is a little bit smaller than before, so they're able to find themselves easier, and it helps the team generally as a unit, right? So I mean, these are the little tweaks that I'm seeing in Mikel Arteta's teams. The fact that his teams are much more solid now, they counter press better now, and there's a lot of control. Odegaard dropping from here to central areas gives them more control, more security on the ball, especially with Declan Rice next to him as somebody that sniffs the threat in terms of counter pressing and winning the ball back for Arsenal. So it's something that they do brilliantly well. They do it so well this season in there for Arsenal, and I think that it's a job that they will get a lot of successes and it gives them the control. And you see, it's imperative because controls actually win leagues. Controls do win leagues. When you manage chaos, you're able to win tournaments. But when you're able to control games, then you win leagues. And I think Arsenal have enough control to go ahead and win the league. And that's why I think that they can win the league because they have a lot of control. Yes, it's far off, but with the signs and the things that I'm seeing, I'm very confident that Arsenal are going to do their job this season with the kind of players that they have and how they're trying to play with Mikel Arteta. Of course, when you keep the weight like that, you need a lot of movement inside, and Arsenal doing that. There are times where Tomiyasu, when he starts from these zones, he will move up into the final zone to sort of be an outlet and be close to Shaka to give him the opportunity to underlap and overlap him. Once he overlap and underlap him, Saka then comes inside and then creates in there for them. He's able to score from those zones as well. Everybody knows how much of a quality player Bukayo Saka is in that regard. So Arsenal are really good this time, and I think that they have a lot of control. And I'm very confident that they are going to go far. Yeah. Yes, we are going to do the analysis with Chelsea also later on in the day. You are going to have it, but yeah, that's it in the Spanish La Liga. I like the job that Xavi did against Atletico de Madrid. It's a big one that's going to come between himself and Girona over the weekend. Real Madrid are in a very good place. I spoke about Walter Mazzari and how I think that he's not going to be a good fit for the Neapolitan job. Simeone Inzaghi is doing a solid job, and that three-back automatism seems to be getting better and better and better. Buying of Thuram has proven to be one of the best decisions that they have done in there, and there have been some brilliant stuff that's going on. But really, I think Arsenal are going to win the English Premier League, and this is my reason tactically. Thank you.